Govindaya Radhikaya Tadale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Shinandananam Bande Radhika Charana Dwayam Gopi Jana Samayuktam Vrindavan Manoharam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaura Bhakta. Hello, Daniti Kadaya Visadaya Pronmiladamodaya Saswat Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Chita Pitamodaya Saswat Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Madhuja Madhyadaya Sri Chaitanya Jayanidhi Tavadaya Bhuyatamandodaya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev thousands of times. On Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our Rupanuga Guru Varga, all devotees, thank you for coming. So, we'll hear something from the 10th canto tonight. So, why Krishna comes to this world? We'll discuss it with Cheryl a little bit. One reason to give mercy to the souls. Battery? No, it's fine. If people can't hear, they can just write something on the screen. One reason, if Krishna had not come to this world, how would we know about him? So Krishna performs his pastimes in this world. Pastimes means something which is divine. Our pastimes are not divine. We are forced to take birth. We are forced to grow old. To fulfill so many desires, we are forced to work, earn money, so many things. But Krishna's activities are not forced by anything. Everything he does is by his own desire. So, one of the main reasons he comes, Anugrahaya Bhaktanam Manusam Dayamasvita Bhajita Tadrisa Kritva Srutva Yatad Paro Bhavet. And Krishna's pastimes, he's put his own special potency there. So anyone who hears it will become attached to him. This power Krishna puts inside his activities. So to give mercy to the devotees, he comes to this world and performs his kriya. Kriya means like playful pastimes. For that reason, Krishna comes in his human form, human-like form, and does his human-like activities. So anyone who hears, their minds will become attached to him. So, tonight we can tell something from Krishna's pastimes. 11 years he stayed in the village of Vrindavan. Then he went to the city of Mathura. Some say he stayed 17 years there. Some say. Then like 120 years in Dwarka. So Krishna was 150 years in this world, but never looked older than 16 years. That is his eternal age. So don't think when Krishna came to this world, everyone was very happy. No, should not think like this. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about two classes of persons, the divine and the demoniac. Demoniac means, Krishna describes, what do they think about themselves? Ishvara aham bhakta. I am God. I am the controller. I am the doer. Ishvara aham bhakta. I am the enjoyer. So these type of persons always opposed to service of Krishna. So don't think when Krishna comes everyone's happy. Certain category of people very unhappy when he comes. They're called the demonic class. But Krishna is very auspicious. even the demons who approach him get so much benefit because Krishna have nothing bad in him, nothing inauspicious in him. It's like a fire. Anyhow, criminal comes to a fire. Audio listening? Criminal comes to a fire. A good person comes to a fire. Fire is same to everyone. No, excuse me. But so sometimes in Krishna's Leela, different demonic persons also meet with him. But when they see Krishna, they cannot appreciate his mercy or his beauty or sweetness or anything. Because their vision full of envy, full of hate. So even though they meet Krishna face to face, because they are not qualified, they cannot perceive this is the Supreme Lord. Understand? If Krishna walked in here now, what would we do? Would we have the vision to properly understand him? No? So, right. So Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty. So someone previously in Krishna's dynasty, before Krishna appeared, they insulted someone. I forget his name, but his name will be mentioned here. So this man became very much envious of Krishna's dynasty. So how will I torture them? I don't have so much strength myself. So he did a big austerities. He worshipped Lord Shiva. And he ate powdered iron for 12 years. Imagine that, Arya. 12 years eating powdered iron. So that's a terrible austerity. So when Shiva came before him, what do you want? Instead of asking for anything beneficial for himself, he said, I want a son who will give terror to this dynasty. No? So generally foolish persons are like that. Not? Even they get a chance for some good thing, they never take it. No? Maharaj tells a story. In India they believe if you see anything bad first thing in the morning, that your day is going to be rotten. What do they call? Omen. Like first thing in the morning you see a dog get run over or what? What's something bad? Black cat. First thing in the morning you see something bad, that means your day is going to be bad. So there was one guy, he was always fighting with his neighbor. So he knew tomorrow morning his neighbor had a very, very important job interview, chance for big promotion. So neighbor was thinking, how can I spoil it? So he's watching when neighbor gets the neighbor's light going on in the morning, he gets changed. He comes out of his gate. Then the enemy, he opened his gate at the same time as the next door neighbor, and he cut off his own nose. Man, he thinks by cutting off my nose, I'm going to finish his day. But that person not thinking by cutting off your own nose, how much you spoil your own day. So sometimes demons, even they get a chance, but still they spoil it. So instead of asking for some good thing from Shiva, what did he ask? A son who will give terror to that dynasty. So that son was born, his name was Kalayavana. Yavan is a species of human completely opposed to the Vedas. Yavan. So his name was Kalayavana. Actually, and he was living in Turkey. I don't want to go on a... Listen. Anyway, he lived in Turkey. So he was very powerful because his father ate iron for 12 years, so the son was also very strong. But he was so powerful he could find no one to fight with him. No one to equal. Generally when you fight and someone's equal to you, then there's some enthusiasm for fighting. No? Like even boxing, the guys who are 60 kilos fight the guys who are 60 kilos. 150 kilo guys fight the 150 kilos. So Kalayavana was just very unhappy because he was so strong, but no one to fight with. But one day, by good chance, he met the great saint Narad. No, we talked about Narad the other night. Great. So he wanted to fight with Narad, but Narad said, no, I'm a vegetarian, I'm weak, I cannot do that, but I will help you. I know someone who can fight with you, who will satisfy you in war. Who? Okay. He lives in India. Oh. And so Kalayavana making some notes. India. Which part? He lives in the district of Mathura. Okay. What's his name? Krishna. What type of name is that? Anyway, just write Krishna. Guru Maharaj says, even the name of Krishna, very crooked. Right? Other incarnation, name easy, like Ram, very easy, Ram. But Krishna, tongue has to go upside down, backwards, to the side, Krishna. Krishna. Okay, his name also Basudev. So Kalayavana taking notes, he lives in Mathura. His name is Krishna. What he looks like, dark complexion. And here is some description here. He's very handsome, like Cupid. You cannot miss him. He has 4 hands. You have a garland of forest flowers, eyes like a lotus. Have you seen the lotus, Orya? Right. Goes like that, long. Krishna have long eyes, like a lotus. On his chest, he wears the Kaustuba jewel. Around he wears generally yellow cloth. He has some special marks on him. So the mark of Srivats here, these special signs of Krishna. So he wears shark-shaped earrings. What else? He have long hair. His cheeks very effulgent, very attractive. That is Krishna. He will fight you. He will satisfy you in battle. So this Kalayavana, he came with his army from Turkey. I think his army was 60 million strong. Imagine. Another reason Krishna comes is to remove these burden of the earth, all these demons with so many demonic followers. One reason Krishna comes to remove them. So Kalayavana came all the way from Turkey, with his thousands and millions of followers, and he came to the city of Mathura. That's where Krishna lived. After coming out of Vrindavan, he moved to the city of Mathura. They're very close, only 10 or 15 kilometers distant. If you go there now, you can see all these places. So Kalayavana surrounded the city to come out. Krishna, come and fight. So Krishna came out alone. No chariot, no weapons. Just like that. So normally, Krishna has 2 hands. But because Narad Muni had described him as having 4 hands, Krishna showed his 4-handed form. Otherwise, Kalayavana wouldn't recognize him. Krishna, 4 hands. Oh, this guy has 2 hands? Can't be Krishna. So even the demons cannot meet with the Supreme Lord unless they take advice from high devotee. So Krishna came alone out of the city, no weapons, nothing. Kalayavana was doing his checklist. And what he saw. Tam viloka vinikshitam, ujhanam ivobatam, like this. I cannot read anymore so much. Shama pitikoshaya basanam, he was dark complexion. Pitanam means yellow color cloth. Srivats, he had the mark of Srivats, the jewel of everything which Narad Muni described. Kalayavana saw. This must be Krishna. Come and fight. But Krishna did not fight, he ran. He ran away. So Kalayavana was shocked. I heard he's a great hero, great fighter, but he's running. So Kalayavana, he thought, Krishna have no weapon, no chariot, so I will fight him. No weapon, no chariot. Even though he's a demon, he also follows some rules. Before fighting had many rules, now no rules, right? Just kill women, children, everything. So Kalayavana was such a great hero. This Krishna has no weapons, no chariot. So he gave up his weapons and chariot and came to fight. But Krishna ran. Then Kalayavana, you can imagine how disappointed he walked like 4,000 miles to fight, and Krishna ran without fighting. So Kalayavana very angry. And he chased Krishna. And as he chased, he used very bad language to Krishna. Come back, you black snake, you coward. Many, many things he's saying. Every moment it appeared as if Kalayavana was about to catch Krishna. But because Kalayavana still had so many sins, he could not touch Krishna. But he's running behind, but could not catch him yet. It's only a high caste of devotee can catch Krishna and hold him. But ordinary person cannot. So, as he was chasing Krishna, he was abusing him. And what was he saying? You took birth in a great family. You're a disgrace to your family, right? Have you heard that, Kevin? mother's ultimate weapon. Disgrace to your family. You took birth in the Yadus dynasty. How you can run away? Come back, fight like a man. Kalayavana could not catch Krishna because his sins were not yet destroyed. But he too much thinking of Krishna, too much chanting his name, but something still left. So Krishna ran into the mountains. And there was one cave. So Krishna entered that cave. In this cave, one man was sleeping. So who is he? The history is given here. In that cave was a great king named Muchukunda. So he was a human being, but so powerful. So he was so powerful, the celestials, the demigods, they would take his help sometimes in war. That meant human being, but how much strong. So they're always harassing him. Come for this fight, come for that fight. So one time the demigods were so satisfied, choose 2 benedictions, whatever you want, we will give you. So first benediction he thought, tell me when Krishna is coming. Right? We were talking the other day, Krishna comes every age. But when, it's described in the Vedas, which incarnation will come when, it's all described there. You can read. Like the incarnation of Buddha, right? This described thousands of years before Buddha came. So when Krishna will come, then demigods know all type of mathematics, astrology, astronomy, all divine sciences. They got out the calculator. Okay, this day of Brahma, he will appear in the 7th day of Manu. And we won't describe it at all now. But Vedic time is also very, very scientific. You know Brahma, the creator? Right? His one day is how long? This age of Kali Yuga, 432,000 years, what we're now in. It just started 5,000 years ago. So it's just warming up. The previous age, Dwapara Yuga, double that. So Dwapara Yuga, 864,000 years. And the next day, the previous age to that, Treta Yuga, double that. And the golden age, Satya Yuga, when Muchukunda was there, this is double that. So the Satya Yuga is 4,320,000 years long. So these 4 together is like 4,320,000,000 years. This is called one Divya Yuga. 1,000 Divya Yugas, Ananta, wake up. 1,000 Divya Yugas, this is one day of Lord Brahma. And 1,000 such Divya Yugas is one night of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 such years, and then he also dies. Then the creation is finished, until the next creation. So every day of Lord Brahma, Krishna comes once. But when? Demigods calculated, according to all this. The middle, 7th Manu. When? 72nd Dwapara Yuga. That means he appears millions and millions of years in the future. Then Muchukunda became sour. I cannot wait so many millions of years for Krishna to come. What can I do? Oh yeah, so he thought. Second benediction, I want to sleep till then. And if anyone wakes me up, they'll be burned to ashes by my glance. Why? Because the demigods every 5 minutes, hey, come do this, come do that. So if the demigods try and wake him now, they'll be burned to ashes, so all demigods leave him alone till then. So Muchukunda was sleeping in this cave for millions of years, actually. And he had the benediction, when I wake up, I will see Krishna. So Krishna knew this, so Krishna ran into the cave and hid in the back. But Muchukunda didn't know this, because he never read Bhagavatam. So this demon, Kalayavana, running behind Krishna, Krishna went in the cave and hiding. Muchukunda sleeping in the ground. Kalayavana come and think, this is Krishna sleeping on the ground, covering himself with some blanket. You know the story? Have you heard before? Have you? So of course Kalayavana very angry. No. Who this guy is sleeping here after challenging me for fighting? So very angry, the demon Kalayavana kicked the sleeping person, which he thought was Krishna. But it wasn't Krishna. Krishna was hiding in the back. So when Muchukunda the king woke up and looked, what happened to the demon? burnt to ashes. So Krishna killed him, but didn't even lift one finger himself. Indirectly, he did everything. So the awakened man was angry, cast his glance at Kalayavana, whose body immediately burst into flames. In a single moment, he was reduced to ashes. So Muchukunda woke up, burnt this guy to ashes. Then he could see someone else in the cave. And he remembered the benediction of the demigods. I want to sleep till Krishna comes. No. So he was thinking. No. Muchukunda was also a great person, born in very ancient dynasty. No. So it tells the history I just said. No. So, as he gazed at Krishna, what did he see? This is another description. No. Tam alokya ganashamam. Alok means to see. No. Tam alokya ganashamam. Sham means black. Okay? Not like anyone wants that. Ganasham. Black, but very handsome, very sweet. No, Gurudev used to always make black jokes. No. Ganashamam. No. Krishna's black, but very sweet. Gopis also too much joking about Krishna's dark complexion. No. Ganasham means like a rain cloud, like especially in India, so hot season, so many months heat. God, I just survived. So when the rainy season comes, those clouds so dark and full of nectar. So Krishna have complexion like that. A little bit today also we're in the garden and read. You see those so dark and so refreshing. Tvam aloka ganashama. Pita kosaya basanam. He wore yellow cloth like lightning. Shribata bhakshanam. On his chest, Krishna have a special golden line here. That is called Shribats. That is the goddess of fortune. Vajrat. Kostoba birajatam chatubhujam rochamanam. Krishna has a special jewel on his neck called the Kostuba jewel. So, Vajantim Chamalaya, he has a garland of 5 types of flowers around his neck. So, this described from beginning to end. These are all descriptions of the form of the Supreme Lord. He was slightly smiling. Like a low-class person when they laugh, ha ha ha, like this. But Krishna not like that. Slightly smiling. Krishna always slightly smiling. Even distressful situation, like Maharaj says, Mahabharat war, like you're reading Bhagavad Gita. Dead elephants, dead horses, dead bodies, blood. But Krishna still in such a situation slightly smiling. Always happy. Always satisfied. So king also looking at this. All symptoms, because Krishna have all the symptoms of the Supreme Lord and some effulgence coming from him. Very sweet. But still Muchukunda not 100% this is Krishna or not. So he introduced himself. When we meet a stranger, we introduce, hello, my name is such and such. Who are you? So Muchukunda first give his identity. So he asked, who are you? You walked such a long way to this cave on so stony ground. But your feet look so soft like a lotus. How is it possible you walked? A little bit we talked that the other night, no? Krishna's soft lotus feet. So Krishna is so effulgent, then Muchukunda asks, who are you? Are you the sun god? Are you the potency of all potent persons? No. But Krishna is so effulgent like the sun, but so sweet like the moon. So Muchukunda asking, are you the sun god or the moon god? The king of heaven? Or maybe you're ruling some other divine planet? But I think no. Why? Because even the demigods have some flaw, some fault. But this Krishna's form, no fault at all. I think you are the supreme. Manye tvam deva devanam. No. He sang one song, Krishna Dev Bhavantam Avante. No? Deva means divine person. No, Dev. Like we call ladies, Devi. So man is Dev. So you are Deva Devanam. I think you are the Deva of all Devas. So one, like Shiva is called Mahadev, but Krishna is Adidev, the first Dev. All other Devas come from him. So Manye Deva Devanam. I think you cannot be any Deva. You must be Deva Devanam, the Deva of all Devas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Trayanam Purushatanam. You are chief amongst even the three demigods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. You must be even more than them. Why? Because you're not just destroying the darkness of this cave, you're also destroying the darkness in my heart. All my ignorance is destroyed just by seeing you. So you cannot be any ordinary demigod like that. So please tell me who you are. Describe your birth. What is your name? Describe your name and lineage to us. Nowadays people don't do, but before, I'm such and such. This is my dynasty. So Muchukunda said, my name is Muchukunda. I come in a family of Kshatriyas, kings. My father is called Yovanasya, and I am his son Muchukunda. I was fatigued and sleeping here for a long time, and all my senses overcome by sleep. I was sleeping in this solitary place. One man came and kicked me, and I burnt him to ashes. And just now I am seeing you with all your effulgence, your power. Your unbearable effulgence, brilliant effulgence, overwhelms all my strength. No, Muchukunda is so strong he burned someone to ashes, but he said, but my strength before yours is nothing. Like a firefly and the sun. So please tell me, who are you? So Krishna smiled, hearing the word of Muchukunda. And Krishna spoke in very deep voice, like rumbling of clouds. And what did Krishna say? My dear friend, I have thousands of names, thousands of forms. One day, a scientist may count the grains of sand on the earth or the stars in the sky. But no one can finish counting my names, my forms, and my activities. Great answer. I love this answer. What an answer. My names, forms, and qualities are so unlimited, even I can't count them. Krishna's saying, right? Krishna has so many incarnations. Who can count them? Krishna says, even I can't count them. Of course he can, but still. Give you some idea how unlimited he is. No? So, after many lifetimes, someone may count the grains of sand, but no one can finish counting my names, forms, qualities, and activities. But still, great perfected saints always discuss my names, forms, qualities, and activities. But still, because you asked, I will tell you my current name and form, qualities. Okay? Some time ago, Lord Brahma requested me to come to the earth planet to remove the burden of the earth. Thus I came in the Yadu dynasty. My father's name is Anak Dumdubi, Vasudev for short. I'm the son of Vasudev, therefore people call me Vasudev. Because you asked. I have killed, then Krishna tells some pastimes. I killed Kalnimi previously, who was reborn as Kamsa. I have finished Pralambasura and many other demons. O king, this barbarian has been burnt to ashes by your glance. In the past you have prayed to see me. I have personally come to this cave to give you my mercy, because I am always affectionate to the devotees. Choose a benediction from me. I will fulfill all desires, right? Who can fulfill all desires? Only Krishna. Okay, Arya, one question can I ask you? You ready for a question? Does that mean yes or no? If Krishna came now before you and asked you, Arya, what do you want? What would you ask for?
What would you ask for?
A new cat? What would you ask for? Damana Maharaj to be silent? What would you ask for? And one who asks, no, Krishna says, one who asks from me never has to ask from a second person. Means whatever you can imagine, Krishna can give. So this is one big test. Krishna asked you, what did you want? What would you take, Cheryl? Think carefully. New washing machine? Upgraded apartment? Imagine, this is one test. Krishna taking one test. What you want, whatever you want. New wife? Just sign on the dotted line. Okay. So Muchukunda, when he heard Krishna, whatever you want, I will give you, then he bowed. He became so happy inside because he understands now this is Krishna directly. So what answer Muchukunda gave? This brilliant answer. No? Brilliant answer. Generally people don't even know what to ask for. Right? They go to the church and what they're asking for? Dust, useless things. No? When this body is finished, everything will be finished. So why ask anything in relation to this body? Right, Kunja? Shouldn't ask. So Krishna testing. And what answer Muchukunda gave? Beautiful. It's a little long answer, but so nice answer. No? Perfect answer. So Krishna said, generally in this world, men and women, Ananta, what would you ask for now? A pillow?
No, just
okay. A new eye? So Muchukunda answered, oh Krishna, in this world, everyone bewildered by your illusory energy. Everyone. Every man, every woman, every insect, every beast. They don't know what is really good for them. Unaware of what is really beneficial for them, they worship you for something in relation to this body. They worship you to get some happiness in family affairs. Right? Paying attention there, Sunananda? We don't even know what is good for us, therefore people are asking for useless things. But if somehow someone worships you, even if their mind is impure, still they get benefit. No? Especially someone who gets the human form of life. Right? We were a little talking the other day, right? 8,400,000 species of life. Jalaja Navalakshanam. No? Jalaja. 900,000 different types of aquatic species. Fish, crab, lobster. What else? Jellyfish. Prawn, 900,000. Jalastavanam Lakshabim said 2 million type of plants. We went to Kew Gardens today. How many different varieties? Plants, trees, grass, flowers. Jalajanavana, Stavanam, Krimyo Sankhirudra. 2,100,000 type of insect, bacteria, worm and germ. Pakshinam Dasalakshanam, 1 million type of birds. Trinksal Laksani Pasava, 1,100,000 type of four-legged animals. Right? How many varieties of cats? How many varieties of dogs? Four-legged animals. Cows, horses, sheep, goat. What else? Mouse. Huh? Camel. We saw a few camels. We saw a camel. 2-humped camel there. We saw this morning. So 1 million type. 1,100,000 type of four-legged animals, and human being. So human being is very rare. Not many humans. Only 8 billion. Right? That means there's more germs in a glass of water, bacteria, than human beings on earth. So human being is very rare. And how many planets up and down. So human is the most precious species, because only human can worship the Supreme Lord. So one who gets this human form of life and worships you, but wants something in relation to this body, that person's like an animal who falls into a dark well. Right? Animal who falls into a dark well gets what? No happiness, only distress. So someone who gets the human form of life and worships you, but still wants some material thing, Kunja, what are they like? Animal. Okay, Muchukunda. So Krishna said, whatever you want, take. And Muchukunda said, no, not like that. Not one who worships you for some material thing, like an animal. So Muchukunda described himself. Oh, Krishna, one name of Krishna, unconquerable one. No one can conquer Krishna, only by affection, no other way. I wasted my life. I was king, as an earthly king, thinking this body is me. We were talking. Everyone forget I am the soul, and everyone thinks I am the body. Oh yeah, who are you? Are you the body, or the mind, or something else? Or the pillow? We are the soul, not this body. Okay, you can tell your dad that tonight, okay, if he rings up. Father, I learned, I am not this body, I am the eternal soul. But everyone thinks I am this body. So Muchukunda said, and when you think you are this body, then naturally you're attached to children, wife, treasury, land. Because of misidentification of the body with the self, I suffered so much anxiety. Especially King. King has so much false ego. With deep arrogance, I accepted myself as the body. And what is this body? This body is like a pot, a material pot, like a pot plant. Thinking myself a god amongst men. I travel the earth surrounded by so many yes men, so many soldiers, so many ministers, so many cavalry. And I forgot you, immersed in material pride. Such a person is always obsessed with what must be done. Right? What should I do? What must be done? And what I have done. Such a person is full of greed, full of desire, and always trying to enjoy this body, enjoy the senses. He forgets about you. He forgets about death. But death never forgets about us, right? Fixed appointment is there. We forget. So death is like a snake, and we are like mouse. Mouse very busy in summer, collecting, digging the hole, sticking the babies and the wife there. Very busy the mouse is working. He forgets about the snake of death. So mouse forgets, but snake never forgets. He's always waiting. When to take. So, and what is this body? The body that rides on the chariot with a big flower garland decorated with a golden crown. That same body which you called king, very soon will be called stool, ashes, or worms. Don't tell your dad this one. Right? Imagine we die and we're cremated. What do we become, Kunja? Ashes. If we're buried, we become worms. And bad luck, we die in the forest and eaten by the dogs, we become stool. So the same, right? Now I am general manager, I am lawyer, I am doctor, I am Asda shelf filler. That same body become stool, worm, or ashes. Having conquered the entire earth, the king sits on a huge throne, receiving praise from others. He thinks himself a great hero, but when the wife catches him, he becomes like a monkey on a string. A dancing monkey. You don't have dancing monkeys here, but you still see them sometimes in India. Monkey dances. Actually, on YouTube are some nice videos. Not that I have personally watched, but I have heard. You can see dancing monkeys, right? They have. I shouldn't tell you. But yes, they train monkeys to be soldiers. You can see dance, different type of dances they have. Many things monkey they train. So who thinks I'm a great hero, but when the wife calls, controlled by sex desire, he becomes like a monkey on a string. Right, Kevin? No more monkey on a string. Right. Muchukunda described. Like, Gurudev was fun. Bill Gates, there was a scandal with Bill Gates, remember? He was caught in the act. Some young girl. Gurudev was giving lecture. Gurudev would always call him for some reason. Instead of Bill Clinton, Gurudev would call him Bill Quintal. Because in India, a 50-kilo sack of potatoes is called a quintal. So Gurudev would call him Bill Quintal. So Gurudev said, no, such a powerful man, but he captured by one girl, young lady, like his own daughter. And that time there was a cartoon someone drew, I saw. Bill Gates was saying, I am the most powerful man in the universe. I control the whole earth, he said. And the little voice was coming from the nether regions, from the flies. And I control him. So who is a great hero? Not who just have some wealth or power, but who control the mind and senses. That is the real hero. So, but the king is so mad. He thinks, I am independent. I am supreme. No? So this is the cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. So this is a very beautiful verse, this one. Muchukunda says. This constant cycle, birth, death, old age and disease. How many times we've been in the womb? Right? How many times? Who can count? How much milk we have drank from the breasts of our mothers, not just as humans, but as cats and dogs, horses, goats, like ocean. So material life, how we know material life is finished. Bhava pavago brahmato yato bhavat bhavashi tari achuta sat samagamaha satsanga tari achuta satgato paraveshwari tvaya jayati rati. Beautiful verse. Okay, if you learn one verse, try and learn this one. How we know my cycle of birth and death is finished? When we can meet the devotee face to face. Bhava pavago. Bhava pavago. No? Bhav. The cycle of... Anyway, that's another topic. But bhava pavago. I forget, but there's 5 syllables in this syllable. In this, another part of the Bhagavatam describes these 5 syllables. Hard work of material existence. So Brahmato means moving. Right? We just described the 8,400,000. There is no species we have not been in. There is no nonsense activity we have not done thousands of times. There is no situation we have not experienced. No? How many mothers and fathers you've had? What happened to your mother and father from previous birth? Where have they gone? Right? Try and remember all these things. No? So how we know this cycle of birth, death, old age is finished when we can meet the devotee. Guru Maharaj gives an example, but we have met devotee, but we are still, it seems, like a fan is going very fast, and you turn it off, it's still going round a little bit, right? But slowly, no? But don't turn it on again, no? So the chance to meet the devotee means the cycle of birth and death is finished. Of course, now you're hearing about Krishna. But still, if we're so much foolish, we go and turn it back on again, then whose fault that is, no? So, when his material life is finished, he meets the sadhu, he meets the devotee. Janashitare achuta satsamagama, and in association of devotees, he gets to hear about Krishna. No? When he hears about Krishna, then tvaya jayati rati. Rati means attachment. So by hearing about Krishna, automatically his attachment for Krishna awakens. And step by step, Param Gati, he achieves, or she achieves, the supreme destination. No? So don't give up. Don't think it's a very easy thing. No? Very cheap thing to get a chance to meet this type of devotee. No? Just by seeing them, cycle of birth and death is finished. They have that much power. We have so much karma, so much sin, we say. It's not a popular word these days, but karma. No, for millions of lifetimes. No? But the scriptures say just by seeing a devotee, all those sins are destroyed, just by seeing. No? So beautiful verse, right? This is the power of association of devotees. No? So, I think you have given me so much mercy, Muchukunda said. The scriptures say this thing again and again, no? Brahmanda Brahmate Kona Bhagavana Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Ladabij. No? So many different bodies we get, one after another. No? One after another. Kabu Sukhi, Kabu Dukhi. Some lifetime happy, haha. Some lifetime sad. Kabhu Raja, Kabhu Praja, Kabhu Dasa Prabhu. Sometimes king, sometimes slave. Kabhu Deva, Kabhu Daitya. Sometimes demigod, sometimes demon, sometimes human being, sometimes insect. No? Of course, it's not completely true, but you can think in one way. There has never been a time we have not been in material existence. Okay, we have not been here eternally, but in one sense you can think like that. There has never been a time I have not been here. And what doing in all species of life? Eating, sex life, sleep, fighting with others. No? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Right? People now, they think very much we're advancing in civilization. But dog runs on 4 legs, we run on 4 wheels. But everyone running here and there, what they're doing. Right? They sleep in the 50-story apartment, but what they're doing in the apartment? Eating, sleeping, sex. Like this, animalistic life. Prabhupada said the dog sleeps on the street and we sleep in the house, but most people doing same animalistic activities. So this chance to stop this cycle comes when we get the chance to be with the devotees. Then you can hear, and by hearing, just like Mahaprabhu described to Rupa Goswami, if you put water on a seed, what happens? What's inside comes out. So by hearing Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes, then the inherent attraction that all souls have towards Krishna because we are his, that attraction wakes by hearing. So who gives up hearing about Krishna? Only that person who is a butcher of their own soul. A self-killer.
Does that make them a demon?
One type, just mad, foolish. So don't give up hearing. So, when Krishna asked him, what do you want? He gave him this answer. No, I've been there, done that. No. So, he said, Nakame anyat tava pada sevanad. I have no desire except to serve you. No? And even those who have no desires, desire that, to serve you. No? So service to Krishna is not material desire. Oh Hari, what perfect person who worships you would choose a boon, would choose anything else? What perfect person would choose a benediction that would cause their own bondage? No? Many people like that. They want something which gives them suffering, like the camel. Sorry to go on about the camels, but camel generally, he can reach very high, and he's chewing the thorn tree, and those thorns cut his mouth, and he's drinking his own blood, but he thinks this is the juice of the tree. The juicy leaves, but no juicy, like juicy cactus. There's no such thing as a juicy cactus. So camel, drinking his own blood, he thinks this is very sweet taste. So the materialists, what are they doing? Drinking their own blood. They think we are very happy, very good. So who is that person who would ask Krishna, who is the giver of liberation, who would ask you for bondage? Only the most stupid person. So Krishna, I have given up all.
I'm sorry, I just have to get her. She's at school and she's tired.
Okay, you can sleep in the bed there and your mother can listen. Do you want that? No, is that weird? No? Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Okay, Arya, be good.
Thank you.
Arya, do you want us to drop some prasad off for you?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Take something with you before you go.
Yeah.
He'll just give you. Okay. So, O Krishna, I give up all goodness, passion and ignorance because you are like that. You are not covered by mundane designations. You have no material desires, no material name, form, qualities and pastimes. So in other words, I want to become like you. No? Guru Maharaj said, unless you're like the demigods, you cannot worship the demigods. Eating chicken and all that, how can you worship the demigods? So unless we become like Krishna, cannot worship Krishna nicely. So the king prayed, I suffered a long time, the pushings of the 6 enemies, lust, greed, anger, enviousness, madness, and illusion. 6 enemies. Many, many lifetimes I served them. Right? Gaugamaj would say, stupid mind, so long I fulfilled all your desires, but no more. I'm not listening anymore. No matter how much I serve the 6 enemies, no matter how much we give the senses, right? Always want more. No matter how much nice we get food, next day we always want more nice things. No matter how much I serve the mind and the senses, the 6 enemies, they were never satisfied, right? Purushottam, the mind never said, oh, it's okay, Purushottam, you served me enough now. No. More, more, more. Therefore, Krishna, protect me. I take shelter of you. Protect me. No. I have good fortune now to approach your lotus feet directly. And on your lotus feet give fearlessness. Free from sorrow. Ashoka Abhay. No Bhaktivinoda Thakur pause. Ashoka Abhay. Chadanadvaya. You Krishna, your lotus feet give freedom from Ashoka Abhay. Give fearlessness and freedom from lamentation. Ashoka Abhay. These 2 things, right? So, oh Krishna, imagine Krishna testing, but he passed. Supreme Lord said, oh King, your mind is pure. Although I tested you with benedictions, your mind was not overcome by material desires. Right, Kevin? Passing or failing? Huh? Don't make too many plans. Anyway, got to hear Bhagavatam, no? Got to hear. Although Bhaman Maharaj said, Krishna always testing. If you pass a test, you go to the next grade. And if you fail, what happens? Stay in the same level. But Bhaman Maharaj said, Krishna will never give a test you cannot pass. Right. So Krishna said, I tested you, but your mind was not overcome by material desires. Understood that I enticed you with material desires, material benedictions, just to prove my devotee is never defeated. The intelligence of my unalloyed devotee is never diverted by material blessings. Sometimes Madhusudana Maharaj says, no material desire means perfect intelligence. The minds of devotees, of non-devotees who engage in practices such as pranayam, like the yogis, right? Yogis practice Astanga Yoga, 8-fold yoga process, mechanical yoga process, right? Yam, niyam, do this, don't do this. Some, huh? Some preliminary moral principles. Buddhism also same. Don't steal, don't lust, like that. Then they control the senses. They make the body strong by asana. Then they perform pranayam, breathing exercises to purify the mind. To purify the mind. But no matter how much they do pranayam, they are not free from material desires. Pranayam means you stop the breathing process. But still, the minds of non-devotees are overwhelmed by material desires. The example is there in Bhagavatam, right? There was one yogi. Who was he who was living in the bottom of the Yamuna? Saurabhi Rishi, Saurabhi Muni. Now he thought, where can I escape where there's no girls in tight jeans and no discos? Discos, God, how old am I? No nightclubs, no nice girls. Where can I go? Laban, look at me like I'm a dinosaur. I'll go where there's no Maya. Where there's no Maya? The bottom of the river. So he went to the Yamuna. And he stayed there 10,000 years doing austerities. Imagine his practice of pranayam was perfect because no need to breathe. By pranayam, he controlled the breathing process. But still, what happened? One day, actually, he made some offense. Last night we were saying, if you make some aparad, some desire comes. No? So he made some offense to Garuda, because Garuda used to come to that area to eat fish. Some people say, well, Garuda's a Vaishnava, he eats fish, why can't I? But we are not in the category of Garuda, because Garuda eats any fish, that fish gets liberation. If we eat any fish, that poor fish just has to take birth again in that species again. So all the fish saw Surabhi Rishi like Guru. So they came, Gurudev, Guru is coming and eating us, please protect us. So out of foolishness, Surabhi Rishi said, Gurudev, if you come here, your head will crack to 10,000 pieces. That means he tried to chastise, punish a senior devotee. What happened? This is some offense, so some desire came. And one day he was meditating, two fish, husband and wife fish. As they were enjoying, they touched his nose. His meditation broke, he saw the fish. He thought, God, even a fish has a girlfriend. Can I have a girlfriend? So he came out of the water, and he went to one king named, what was his name? Matanga Rishi. One king, Matanga, famous king. When he was, anyway, we've gone there, so we have to finish the story. One king could not, Matanga's Maharaj's father could not have a son previously. So he did a big yagya to have a son. So one demigod came and gave him some nectar. Who drinks this will have a son. Then he disappeared. So the king had two wives. The king said to the wives, don't drink now, we'll drink in the morning. And because of providence, the king woke up, was thirsty, and what did he drink? He drank the magic nectar, he became pregnant. He gave birth. Hare Krishna. So when he gave birth, of course he had no breast milk, so the child was crying for milk, but he had no milk. So Indra came, and he gave his finger to the boy. Drink me, Matanga. So the boy became known as Matanga. Because Indra has nectar, right? So the child drank the nectar from the finger of Indra. So that same king had 50 daughters. When this Subhadhi Rishi came out, imagine what he looked like after 10,000 years of doing austerities. Right? We wash the dishes for half an hour, how our hands look. So imagine how he looked after 10,000 years of austerities. Right? Sigmund the sea monster, something. Old man, so many austerities. King, I want to marry your daughter. What would you do? But the king was afraid to say no, because when lust is not fulfilled, anger comes. So Matanga Rishi was clever. He said, oh, Maharaj, no problem, but my daughters will choose their own husband. Who's going to choose the old guy, right? No one. So, the yogi could understand. He laughed. Oh, you think this is me? Radha Mohan. He looked older than Radha Mohan. So he used his yogic powers to make himself beautiful. He was so beautiful, the 50 girls began fighting amongst themselves. I saw him first. They began fighting. I will marry. I saw him first. I'm older than you. So the yogi said, don't fight, girls, look. Ding. He made himself into 50 rishis. He married each of them. And with his mystic power, he made a city in the sky full of swimming pools, ponds, gardens. Right? We saw today Kew Gardens. Imagine the Subhadhi Rishi, all gardens, swans, peacocks, by his mystic power. Anyway, so even the yogis would do all this, mind not perfectly purified. But devotees like Haridas Thakur never fell down. Even Maya herself came to test. And what happened to him? There, E.T., come back to base. What happened? You're tired. Very tired. No? So, but Haridas Thakur, great devotees, never fell down. No? So the minds of non-devotees are not fully cleansed of material desires. Never. No? We can explain that another night. Well, now she's gone, I guess we're free. No? So, these 4 stages of pap, kut, bij, this karma. Sometimes we have good thoughts. Purushottam thinks, I will serve the homeless. Some pious thought comes. I will serve my parents. Some pious thought comes. Sometimes some impious thought comes. I'll have a meat pie. Who knows what you think? Well, some impious thought comes. This is karma. Sometimes that karma also different types. What now manifesting? Some disease, some good fortune, some good job. This means prarabdha karma. You're now experiencing. But what you haven't experienced, but you're about to experience. What's in line for you, Mr. Kevin? Will he be run over by a semi-trailer tomorrow? We don't know. Because not manifest, aparabdha. So kut means desires, and bij, which is coming, not manifest in the mind yet, but will manifest later. So karam, bij, kut, these all things, different layers of karma. So, this all seed, even the seed of desire, come from where? What is the seed of material existence? In simple language, why the soul came into ignorance in the first place? What is the cause? Yoga purified the mind and the senses and all these things by mechanical yoga process. But still the question comes, what is the cause of the soul in being in ignorance in the first place? Why the soul entered into the field of karma? What's the cause? That thing has to be uprooted. No, therefore it said by yoga and these other things, all material desires may appear to be destroyed. No, like if you put a fire into a field of bamboo, all the bamboo burnt to ground level. It appears nothing is there. But what happens when the rainy season comes? Ding! Because root is there. So what is the root of material existence, Ananta? What is the cause?
Desire.
Forgetting Krishna. Turning away from Krishna. So that thing is not destroyed by yoga and all these other things, but that is also done under the spell of forgetfulness of Krishna. Only devotee can uproot that root. Only devotee can uproot, take that thing out by the root, by surrender to Krishna. So Krishna says, the minds of non-devotees are engaged, who engage in practices such as pranayam, pious activity, meditation, even study the Vedas, brahmachari, all these control of the mind and senses, truthfulness, all these things are not enough. These people are not fully cleansed of material desire. Material desires are again seen to arise in their minds. Not like if you stop doing everything, then it looks like, oh, they've stopped material, like the Buddhists sit in the cave for hundreds of years. If you look externally, you'll think, wow, they've really given up all desire. They've given up everything. But if you take a bucket of dirty water and leave it there for a few days, what happens? It also looks clean. But if you give it a shake, again it all comes up. So the mind, all non-devotees who do not take shelter of bhakti, they're like the bucket of water. Externally it may appear good, but you give it a shake, again it comes up. O king, in the minds of non-devotees, material desires are again seen to arise in their minds. So, Muchukunda want to stay with Krishna, right? But problem is, Muchukunda is from Satyuga. Means Mukunda is like 60 feet tall. Now, as the yugas increase, then everything becomes shrunken. Now look at Kali Yuga. How tall are you, Kevin? Shame. You runt of the human species. Well, how tall is everyone? 5'8", 5'10". No. So as Kali Yuga increases, everything becomes smaller. Fruit trees now smaller. Everything's small. No? Everything less. Cows giving less milk. Everything degrading. So they say by the end of Kali Yuga, everyone will be like this tall, like little Smurfs running around. So Krishna appeared in Dwapara Yuga. That means how tall is Krishna? And Muchukunda from Satyuga, because millions of years he's sleeping, so he's like 60 feet tall. So Muchukunda want the benediction, I want to be with you, with Krishna. But Krishna's thinking, if I walk around with this guy as my associate, what pastimes are going to be left for me? Muchukunda is so powerful, all these demons, he would like kill like if someone kills a mosquito. And also if Krishna walking around with a 60-foot bodyguard, all these pastimes finished, right? So Krishna a little tricky, a little cheated Muchukunda a little bit, no? So Muchukunda wanted to be with Krishna. No? Okay, now you're here, I'm here, I'll be with you. But Krishna thinking, if this guy is with me, no, all my pastimes finished. So Krishna a little cheat Muchukunda. A little bit. No, a little bit, quite a lot. So, Krishna gave some excuse. Oh, Muchukunda, you are king, that means you are hunting many animals. You killed many living beings while hunting and performing your kingly duties. You must destroy these sins by carefully executing penances while being remained surrendered to me. It's like, seriously, Krishna? One who's seeing Krishna face to face, what sins you have left? Nothing. So, let me read that commentary, no? So, Muchukunda thought, alas, alas, Krishna wants to separate me from his association. This can't be, it cannot be. No? Noticing Muchukunda's great anxiety, Krishna then thought as follows. In this incarnation, he should not associate with me directly. All the personal assistants in my pastimes have taken birth in Dwapara Yuga, such as Uddhav, Akrura, Arjun, Yudhisthira, right? Muchukunda, however, is extremely old, having taken birth at the very beginning of the Manvantara, the very beginning of the day of Manu. When people see him, they will laugh and say, "Aho, who is this very tall and old man who is such a poor match for Mukunda?" No matching, right? Even now, during the pastimes of running from Jarasandha, as well as in later pastimes such as kidnapping Rukmini, it will be not at all fitting if I keep this person with me, no? While I'm fighting these demons like Salva and others. Why? Muchukunda is so huge, he will take these demons like mosquitoes and crush them like that. What excuse can I make, therefore, to separate myself from his association? After thinking like this, Krishna decided the only means to accomplish this would be to speak some false words in order to mislead Muchukunda. It's lucky she left, right? So Krishna said, you killed many animals and did many bad things as a king, so do some austerities and remember me. No? In your next life, you become an excellent Brahmin and the well-wisher of all creatures, and certainly you will come to me. So Muchukunda prayed, when I will become your associate? Krishna answered in this verse, after leaving this body you will go to my abode in Vaikuntha. I give liberation and residence in Vaikuntha even to my enemies in this incarnation, so what to speak of an exalted devotee like you? In my pastimes in a future incarnation you will associate with me as an essential participant. Next incarnation. In your very next birth, you will be the best friend of all living entities. At that time, you and I will act for the... In that next incarnation, next life, we will be together. Tika. So he did like that. So Krishna very tricky, huh? How he cheated Muchukunda, but anyway. What Krishna wants, that will be accepted. Okay. Unfortunately, that lady left, but main thing is... we're too much lucky to get the association of devotees, so sometimes we have to tolerate, no? But that thing is worth tolerating. Any questions? Lavan? You're not going to marry, are you? Become like an animal in a well, as Muchukunda said? Huh?
Diving head first in the well.
Don't be like a frog in the bottom of the well. Think about it if you can, because we have done that thing for millions of lifetimes, no?
Don't do it.
At least you go to Vrindavan, don't do it, right? Why, you've got someone in mind?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, don't make too many plans, Kevin, till Didi gets her hooks into you. Huh? Hare Krishna. Any questions from anyone? Ananta? 4 questions? No.
No, one.
One, okay.
It's, disciple listened very carefully, did he need to ask any question if he can hear everything? He can understand when he listened properly.
Generally, unless there's question, there's no Harikatha. Like Parikshit asking 6 questions, right? The answer is Srimad Bhagavatam. Arjuna 16, generally even perfected soul, you said good disciple, but perfected soul even meet another perfected soul, still one will ask questions. Like Vidura met with Uddhav, both are perfected souls, but still Uddhav asking question to Vidura. No, Yudhisthira met with Narad, no, both are perfected souls, but still Yudhisthira Maharaj asking Narad questions, otherwise no Harikatha. Does that answer your question? So devotee hearing perfectly, but still, they always like, even though they know everything, still they like to hear something more. No? So to ask questions, there's no fault. This is a good thing. No? Okay. Anything else?
To not ask questions, is that a fault?
Gurudev would say it, so but shouldn't ask it something stupid. But Gurudev would say it's one offense to sit before Gurudev and not ask something. That means you don't want to hear anything. So always some questions should be there.
I was thinking, when you said the no material desires, perfect, will give you perfect intelligence. At the moment we have like material desires. How will we obviously get to a point where we can reduce?
By perfect intelligence. Right? Krishna talks so much about this in Bhagavad Gita. No? One who worships me, I give him the intelligence, how he comes to me. That is 10th chapter. No? Krishna talks a lot about this in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Buddhi, intelligence given by me. Now we have intelligence given by everyone else, right? The media, parents, this, that. No? But as we worship Krishna and do sadhu sang, then Krishna gives divine intelligence. And that intelligence cuts all material desire. No? The sword of knowledge. Why they call the sword of knowledge? No? There's one story, I don't know if you've heard it, Srila Sridhar Maharaj told this story. No? There was Alexander the Great. So as a child, his father took him to the temple of Delphi. And there was a knot. Have you heard this? The Gordian knot. Incredible, huge knot. It was said who could untangle this knot would be the king of the world. You know the story, right? The Delphi knot, the knot of Delphi. So many people came, could not do. But Alexander went there as a young man. So he saw the knot, it was huge. He just took his sword and cut it in half. And many people became upset. He has cheated, he has defiled the temple. Other people said, no, well, he did it, right? So they went to the high priestess and asked her. She meditated. He has cut the knot, he has fulfilled the prophecy. He will be the king of the whole world. So we have a knot, because our intelligence bound to this world. So Bhagavatam says, Yad anudyanasana Krishna karma grantana bandhana. One can undo the knot of material existence by using the sword of constant remembrance of Krishna. Answer your question? So how we develop our intelligence? By reading Shastra, by hearing. And how you finish your intelligence? By talking, associating with fools. No, so like a sword, a knife you sharpen every day can cut anything. So that intelligence which every day is sharpened by the Bhagavatam. Like you hear this katha, Rinata, read it, how material desires will stay. Right? So don't you see, when people stop hearing, they lose intelligence. They stop chanting, they stop following Kadasi, they start, senses go here and there. We were standing, because the intelligence is stronger than the senses. So when senses are going here and there, can be controlled only by the superior intelligence. Right? There's a nice girl. Intelligence goes, gateway to death. I shouldn't tell this, but one day I was walking with my dad in the city, and there was a girl in front of us in a miniskirt, something, and she was walking. Dad was like, just fully absorbed, I said, Careful, Dad, gateway to... What did I say? Careful, Dad, gateway to hell. He goes, come on, hell. I don't know why I enlightened my audience with that one, but anyway. When intelligence is weak, then the senses, you cannot control the senses and mind. Now, therefore it says, Bhagavad Gita, these 5 senses like horses, right? And the rein is the mind, but who's controlling the mind? Intelligence. Well, intelligence. Of course, in a high stage of devotion, even the intelligence is given up. In a high stage of devotion. No. Maharaj give an example. Security guard of the king. He has a huge sword, right? But he's always doing like this? No. When necessary, then he use. When not necessary, he keep. So devotee have all scriptural knowledge, everything, but when they use, only when necessary, they use for preaching and talking to stupid people, then you use. Otherwise, no need, devotee absorbed in their meditation.
After a while, though, you don't use your intelligence in devotion.
Because you have anurag, attachment to Krishna. That time. That's Raganuga Bhakti, no? Nas astrums cha na yuktums cha. When Raganuga makes a very strong appearance in the heart, attachment to Krishna, that time don't need shastra, don't even need intelligence. Because too much attachment. Hey, wake up, it's Mangalati. If you don't go to Mangalati, your bhajan will suffer. If you don't do bhajan in the Brahma Muhurta, your mind will not be able to fix. No, your day will be useless. Intelligence wakes us up in the morning. But anurag, oh, how can I serve Radha Krishna? Like you see Swami Maharaj, many times the servants would say, when it's night time, he goes, now I have to waste so much time by sleep. But we're thinking, can't wait for the head to hit the sack. You know? So in the beginning, intelligence is necessary, but the high stage, bhav bhakti, that stage, no need, because it's so much attachment to Krishna. No? We're praying when that day will come. No? Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.